Maybe we should stop for a moment at the memorial. You know, to pay our respects. Hard to believe it's been 2 decades since we were at war with the Collective, when it seems like only yesterday.
Yes, exactly. It's like...
When someone insults you, you want to just beat the shit out of them sometimes, but you don't.
Well, not quite what I was thinking, but that's actually a great example, Marcus. The man in the story was cruel. Do you know why he was cruel? You must feel what he feels, understand his pain, accept it, and deliver it not back upon him.
Empathy. You mean empathy? But you say it like it's easy. Like anyone can just love a terrible person who has been terrible to them.
Yeah, why even bother? I mean, isn't the cycle of humanity peace and war back and forth, like forever? Seems kind of pointless to try so hard for something that won't last. Nothing ever really changes.
Well, it's not easy, no, but necessary. Because you see, everything has changed. God has given us the intelligence, the ingenuity to reach into the stars, to travel his path, to truly find him. But we can't do it alone. The only way is through
unity.
Huh. Yes, Andreas. Yes. Unity. Well, I'm sure you all have other things to do. Thank you for taking the time to stop and talk with me. Is there anything I can help with? I may not always have the perfect advice for people, but I try to just be here for them. I think that's what they really need more than anything else. Were you seeking worldly wisdom or just a friendly ear? It would, wouldn't it? Well, if you find it, be sure to come back and let me know. It would make the next sermon more memorable, if nothing else. And in the meantime, while it isn't quite so profound, I might suggest reading some of our works. Among the Grab Jumps is a good place to start. I'm sure you can find a copy lying about. And if you do decide to read it, perhaps you'd let me know what you think. See if it speaks to you, as it has to others. Understandable. The things I've forgotten over time. Well, you could fill more than a few books. As I said, I'm sure there's a copy somewhere. Might jog your memory. And it would give us an opportunity to discuss the ideas, which I would thoroughly enjoy. If you do read it, you know where to find me.
Oh, hi there. I'm Marcus Lestari. Are you interested in the Sanctum Universum? Glad to hear it. It's an exciting time for the church. We're growing every day, and we've been getting more interested visitors lately, too. Actually, we've had a few visitors come by recently, but they have yet to come visit us again. This strikes me as a good opportunity. I'm wondering, would you like to go check in with those visitors and welcome them back to our church? Maybe all they need is just another invitation. And don't worry, I'll pay for your effort, of course. Well, that's why. We want to keep growing our community, but sometimes people can be suspicious of others who are already heavily involved in the church. A new face like yourself might make the prior visitors more comfortable with returning. And you all may learn something along the way. Either something about the church or about yourselves. Excellent. Their names were Tony, Evie, and Johann. When you check in with them, give them one of these slates. It's just a little something welcoming them back if they're interested. If you want, take some time to talk with them. get to know them and why they were interested in the Sanctum Universum. In any case, when you're done, come back to me and I'll give you your payment.
Aquilus has helped me. Have you ever heard one of his sermons? They're really good. Even just the sound of his voice is comforting, I guess.
Down with the FC! What do you want? I'm very busy. What? Let me see. Oh, yeah. I went to the Sanctum Universum a while back. I haven't checked it out again, though. It's interesting. The whole literally finding God thing is comforting to me, in a way. Wait, why am I telling you this? I'm not sure. The truth is that I want to believe in it all. The Sanctum Universum believes that God gave us the ability to grab jumps so that we can search for him and find him. If that's true, maybe I can find my dad as well. I lost him when I was just a little girl. I can barely remember him. Because if it all ends up not being real, I'd be devastated. I don't need a lecture from you. Listen, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I'll go back if I want to.
Not sure if those Varun zealots live in space or got separated.
I'm meeting my girlfriend. If you ask me, it's always a good time for a Terra Brew. What, at Terra Brew? I wish. Nah, I live at Athena Tower. Just moved in, actually. My girlfriend and I got a place there a few weeks ago. I'm not sure how long we'll be there, though. We're saving up to get out of New Atlantis and, tour the settled systems. Fine, I guess. Do we know each other? Oh, all right. I thought you were trying to flirt with me. My day's going fine. It's hard to complain about anything when you have a Terra Brew in your hand. Catch you later, yeah? Yeah, sure. Her name's Donna. She works at the Nat station near Mast. Oh, boy, is she a catch. She's passionate, beautiful, friendly. I really lucked out. We met a couple of years ago, and we've been going steady since then. I'm actually thinking about asking her to marry me pretty soon. Keep that between us, okay? I don't want her finding out before I pop the question. Oh, thank you, I guess. An invitation, huh? Yeah, I checked out the church a few weeks ago, but I haven't gone back yet. My girlfriend and I want to leave New Atlantis and travel the settled systems. We've been working our butts off, and my girlfriend is so excited. I'm excited too, but it's still a little scary, you know? We've been in New Atlantis all our lives. We don't even really know what to expect out there. I guess I was seeking out some sort of comfort from the church. I don't really know. I don't know. I don't want to disappoint anyone in case I stop going. The church was interesting, but how can anyone know for certain that it's all real? Doesn't that bother anyone else? I guess that's probably why I never went back. There's no certainty. Maybe. I guess it couldn't hurt to visit again and talk with the others. I wonder if any of them felt how I do now when they started going to the church. But anyways, I have to get going. Thanks for talking with me and, for taking the time to deliver this. Take care.
I'm pleased to report that our stocks are currently being maintained at 90% or higher. Welcome to UC Yes. Right. Come back if you need something else.
Service with a smile. That's the UC way. I've met so many interesting people from working at the distribution center. Oh, no. When I was growing up, I actually wanted to be a miner on Sidonia. As weird as that may sound. I guess I never wanted to have a typical job. Lucky for me, working at the distribution center is anything but typical. Of course, who wouldn't? It's such a privilege to be able to work for the UC government, a true force of good. Every day is so exciting. I get to meet so many new people, solve interesting problems, and learn about developing situations throughout the settled systems. Yep, there's never a boring day at the distribution center. Really? Nice! I went there a while back. Good to see they still remember me. There wasn't really any reason. I just got busy or lazy and stopped going. I've actually been meaning to check it out again. It's just something interesting to do after work. The people seem nice as well. To tell you the truth, I don't really have any thoughts on the church itself. I wouldn't consider myself religious. I initially went because it just seemed interesting. I don't think I really know enough about the church to decide if it's bad or good, or if it's even a good fit for me. I guess maybe I should go back to figure that out. Gotta say that it's nice. You know, having people think about you. Because of my job, I don't really have too much free time to socialize or make friends. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my job. It's the best job in New Atlantis. But still, it can be hard to put myself out there sometimes. That's actually one of the reasons I went to the Sanctum Universum. Just to talk with people and get to know them. It was nice. It really was. Yeah, I think I will. But hey, let me ask you something. Do you believe in all this Sanctum Universum stuff? What do you think? Nice. Cool. I don't know if I'll believe it myself, but I guess we'll see what happens. Well, hey, I'll let you get back to it. Thanks for bringing this to me. Keep on keeping on.
It's a shame House Varun abandoned their embassy. I bet we could have learned a lot from one another.
Excuse me. Keeper Aquilus has been helping me work through some, anger issues. I'm a pretty devoted follower. I love coming to listen to Keeper Aquilus and talk with the others. I still have a lot to learn, though. I truly believe that Keeper Aquilus and the Sanctum Universum has been an absolutely positive influence on my life. I try to reach out to others as much as possible, you know, invite them to come talk with us and spread Keeper Aquilus's teachings. I think it's the least I can do. Sure, but I warn you, I'm not the world's most interesting guy. I was born and raised in New Atlantis. Actually, to be more specific, the Well. I had a rough childhood like most people from down there. Luckily for me, I managed to get out of there and find a job in the commercial district. The Sanctum Universum has been helpful for me. I admittedly have struggled with feelings of anger, and sometimes I still do. Keeper Aquilus and the church have really helped me to become a better person. Great! How'd it go? I'm glad to hear that. Sometimes people just need a little reminder that they're always welcome here. Here, your payments as promised. Thank you for taking the time to do this. And I hope to see you around the church too.
Are you a member?
I had this graph jump once, and I don't know. I felt
Oh, I hope you have the... There's so many mysteries in the universe, so many unknowns that I try to help out others whenever I get the chance. Well, we're a newer organization, at least officially. Our facility here in New Atlantis has only been around a few decades. But we're gaining new members all the time. I think people have been grasping for something to express what they're experiencing, and I'm glad we can be here for them. Keeper by title. But yes, I suppose the title fits. I'm very grateful that I have the opportunity to be here for those who need us, who find meaning in our message. The Sanctum will always be here for those who seek it.
I'd heard of the Sanctum Group. The first time I came to New Atlantis, I met Thomas. Thought it was absolutely
You know, there are folks I
crazy.
sometimes see only once every few years.
How that's changed.
In between, they're just out there.
The embassy, the trees here are quite beautiful. They remind us how important it is to slow down and take a breath. I used to work in interstellar affairs before I was dismissed, due to some of the differences I had with management. But I am not retired, not by a long shot. After all, I can do more when detached from the strings of bureaucracy. I do a lot of reading and take walks through the district. We don't have trees like this on the other systems. There's a calming presence about them, but that belies their inner strength. After all, neither you nor I could pull out the roots of a tree on our own. For while there is beauty above, everything that matters happens under the surface. It's grand, isn't it? Testament to humanity's ability to compromise and cooperate. Let's be honest. The treaty is nothing more than a carefully crafted artifice. If it's a testament to anything, it's mankind's ability to lie to itself. Sadly, yes. The war with the Freestar Collective hasn't ended. The director has merely called for an intermission and the audience has departed to the lobby. But behind the curtain, the stagehands at Mast are busy preparing for the next act. Excellent. I do have something you can help me with. In my spare time, I like to collect plants. The rarer, the better, especially from Earth. One of my prized collections is an olive seed. I'd like you to plant this seed in the atrium, so that it may grow and be a symbol for peace. A lone olive tree growing in this garden of alien life would send a message. People might interpret it as a message from God, and truth be told, I'm counting on that to happen. Some might call it manipulation, but I like to think we're helping people choose what they need, rather than what they want. Incidentally, I did try, but the god had other ideas. Bad ideas, I'm sure, involving more bruises than I was willing to endure. But if you are the sneaky type, perhaps you can do it undetected. Thank you. I'll have a reward for you when you return.
What are you doing? Get away from there!
I'm a student of history, which also diplomacy will never die. I could try the Aquila City Shuffle. After all, filibustering for attention is my specialty. God! God! I'd like to report a crime.
Okay, okay. What's the crime?
Crime of passion.
Is there a body?
Oh, yes. There is most certainly a body. There can't be a crime without a body.
Okay, but if there's a crime scene, we might need to bring in a blood spatter expert.
There's no blood. Why would there be blood?
You said this was a crime of passion.
Oh, did I say passion? I meant a crime of fashion. Your uniform is hideous, and I would like to report.
Get the hell out of my sight.
The trees here are quite beautiful. Well done. In about 5 years, it will grow into a full tree. And lo and behold, just as the people begin to doubt the armistice, a miracle blossoms right in the embassy district. An olive branch. I like to think so. We're just planting the idea in their head. I'm not foolish enough to think an olive branch can change a person's mind, but it can certainly help sway an undecided. Either way, I'd appreciate your silence in this matter going forward. And to ensure that, here's your reward. Spend it well.
Planning to open up 2 new branches to keep up with demand.
Do each of you swear to protect and defend the citizens of the United Colonies to the best of your abilities?
Sarah. Another space explorer. Hey, you ever think of joining up with the Vanguard? Help the United Colonies, earn some credits, even get your UC citizenship? United Colonies volunteer fleet. Independent captains enlist, get to use their own ships, and the UC provides them with sustained work and credits. And put in your time, and you're guaranteed UC citizenship and everything that comes with it. Discounts on UC goods and medical services, chance to own a place in New Atlantis. Only way a foreign captain could even dream of seeing those sorts of benefits. So, you want in? Excellent. Just need to do a little paperwork. An orientation on the UC, and knock out an exam, and a probationary mission. We need to know you'll be able to hack it out there after all. Do well. You'll be out there keeping the peace in no time.
Don't forget, John, I need him back after you wrap him in that fancy get-up of yours.
No worries, Sarah. I'm not forgetting about you or our little business afterwards. Promise. First things first, head down to the orientation hall and get signed up at the registration terminal. System will walk you through the rest. Oh, and if you got a bounty, well, you're gonna have to make things right with the UC before we'll let you join. But if you've got any questions... Something wrong with the exam? Sure thing. What do you want to know? Just hop into the elevator. You want the button for Vanguard Orientation Hall. Register yourself at the terminals in the lobby and the exam system will get you to where you need to go. Vanguard work is as needed. When we've got jobs, we'll make them available to you. But the work itself, well, it runs the gamut. Sometimes you might be hunting down hostile ships on behalf of the UC Navy, or you might be called up to help the Science Division clean up some invasive species. Hell, we've even been asked to help take on the occasional terramorph. And sometimes we just need cargo support. Not every job's glamorous. The Vanguard only gets called in for the ones where there's a chance of seeing action. Wherever the UC needs us, the Vanguard is there. For the exam, we'll be putting you through a combat flight simulation. Let us see your piloting skills, evaluate how you behave under pressure, all without any risk of you inadvertently getting blown out an airlock. For the probationary mission, though, we'll be sending you out on a job all on your own. The specifics of the mission vary by what's available at the time, but we're not about to ask you to storm a Crimson Fleet base or whatever. At least, not on Mission 1. More likely, you'll be making a drop-off to some UC citizens in an area that's outside normal naval patrols. There'll be a risk of hostile contacts, but that's far from guaranteed. The exam's just a simulation. Only way you'll be hurt there is if you trip on your way inside. Now, for the probationary mission, we select those specifically to ease you into the type of work you'll be doing here. Make sure you're capable of handling things on your own. But I can't promise it'll be risk-free. The UC sends us on jobs because there could be combat. This mission would be no different. Now, if that's a deal-breaker, I won't be offended if you walk away. But this is the military. The chance of conflict is kind of in the job description. I'll keep an eye out for your results. The process starts with registration down... Me? 6, 7 years now? Was a recon squad commander in a former life, so it wasn't too big a jump bossing around foreign pilots instead. But Vanguard's been a quality assignment. Meet new people, judge them on a series of diverse criteria, get them out there helping people who need it. MAST is short for Military, Administrative, and Scientific Triumvirate. From here, the 3 co-equal divisions of the UC government work together to advance the cause of the colonies. Be that through mutual defense, political and diplomatic strength, or scientific discovery. Now, serving any of the UC's divisions grants citizenship, but scientific and admin positions in the UC tend to be real competitive. Understandable, most people would prefer to earn their citizenship behind a desk rather than in combat. Not something I'd ever choose for myself, but understandable. Military used to have a pretty narrow view of where the best pilots came from. In their eyes, it was UC or bust. The creation of the Vanguard was an acknowledgement by the brass that maybe not all the galaxy's greatest pilots went through a UC flight school. So it's the Vanguard's job to find them and get them to fly for us. Right. Got so wound up bringing you on board, I almost forgot.
Oh, I haven't. Come on, John. Let's hear it, before you try to convince him to join the Marines.
All right. Here's what I've got. Vanguard volunteer by the name of Moera. Helps patrol the old neighborhood. Sol, Mars, Neptune, you know.
The Sol system? Which admiral did he upset to get that posting?
He's Martian, born and raised. Not like I can get anyone else to care. Word is he's got some fancy metal ornament he's been showing off to the old grounders. Matches that description Sarah gave me. Sol system is a lot of planets, but a vet like Moera will be checking in at Sidonia on the regular.
You mean hitting the bars, don't you, John?
Hey, nothing wrong with a little refresh between patrols. Anything for Sarah. UC always takes care of its own. Even the prodigal children.
Oh, brother.
Have some questions?
Registration accepted. You may now proceed through the historical displays in the orientation hall, or continue on to the examination.
In 2150, humanity learned the Earth's magnetosphere would collapse sometime in the next half-century, eliminating all life on the planet. Decisive action was required, but the secure transport of an entire civilization would demand a new kind of cooperation. A new kind of courage, and a new kind of union. Thus, in 2159, the United Colonies were formed to make that journey possible. Just 1 year later, the Galileo, the first of many colony ships, touched down here on Jemison, beginning a new era of human history, the age of the United Colonies.
The effort and planning it must have taken to evacuate literally the entire planet. Can you imagine? The logistics alone must have been mind-boggling.
From their foundation, the United Colonies strove to provide all their citizens with opportunity, security, and peace. But there were those among the UC that still wanted something more. Independence. So in 2161, the UC issued the Centaurus Proclamation, granting UC citizens the right to settle distant worlds and form their own sovereign powers. It wasn't long before the first new faction, the Free Star Collective, was formally organized in 2188, later followed by House Varun, revealing themselves to the universe in 2230.
The result of the Centaurus proclamation has always left me torn. So much conflict arose as a result. Was it worth it?
It was only in 2230 that the faction known as House Varun first made contact with the rest of the settled systems. Founded by the passengers of a colony ship that had left New Atlantis and disappeared 4 decades earlier, House Varun was a faction unlike any other. A theocracy dedicated wholly to the beliefs of its isolationist founder, Johann Varun. House Varun initially made overtures of peace towards the rest of the settled systems. They claimed their only intention was to spread the word of their god, the Great Serpent. But none could have guessed that this worship might take the form of a bloody war, the Serpent's Crusade. The Freestar Collective was initially founded in 2188, when the citizens of Aquila banded together with the pleasure city of Neon in mutual defense. But in 2194, after the deployment of a UC medical star station in orbit around their world, the citizens of Narion also requested to join the collective. The resulting rise in tensions between the Freestar Collective and UC culminated in the settled system's first intergalactic conflict, the Narion War. Despite a decisive victory by the UC, the colonies permitted the citizens of Narion to join the collective, forming the basis for the fiercely independent union that persists to this day. Beginning in 2240, House Varun forces declared all-out war on the rest of human civilization, initiating the Serpent's Crusade. Over the next 23 years, thousands of Freestar, UC, and independent souls were killed by agents of House Varun in the name of their serpent god. It was only with the death of their founder in 2263 and the succession of his heir, Jarek, that House Varun finally sued for peace. There remains, however, select members of House Varun who refuse to recognize the cessation of hostilities their leaders established. Even after House Varun's mysterious disappearance, these zealots remain a threat to all who encounter them. Their pacification, a goal of all space. Of the many conflicts between the galaxy's factions, none was more brutal than the recent colony war between the UC and the Freestar Collective. Set off by the unauthorized Freestar colonization of Vesta's Pride in 2308, a direct violation of the Narion Treaty, the colony war spread quickly across the galaxy. Both sides deployed every tool at their disposal. Armadas of warships, mechanized combat platforms, or mechs, even bioengineered alien creatures, the infamous UC xenoweapons. It was only in 2311 at the Battle of Cheyenne that the scales finally tipped. The Freestar Collective, utilizing their civilian fleet as a human shield, successfully crippled the superior United Colonies Navy. After their shocking victory against the galaxy's greatest navy, the Freestar Collective offered terms of peace, which the colonies, out of an interest in staving off any further human costs, accepted. The galaxy has been rebuilding ever since.
The colony war was a horrible conflict that irreparably doomed the second systems. There were times I felt that it would never end.
Few settled worlds were left untouched by the colony war. But nowhere could the viciousness of modern warfare be seen more clearly than on the Freestar planet of Nira. Initially occupied by invading United Colonies forces as a forward operating position, repeated attempts to take and retake the planet by collective forces led only to devastation. Swaths of the world were transformed into scorched husks, a nightmarish testament to the depths of human ingenuity and human cruelty. And today, Nira remains a continuing reminder to the horrors of unfettered war. In the midst of the colony war, a different kind of tragedy struck the UC city of Londinian. A newly constructed but critical supply center for the United Colonies war effort, Londinian found itself overrun by one of the galaxy's most mysterious predators, the Terramorph. A rare but pervasive threat to all human-settled worlds, Terramorphs swept over the city, seemingly out of nowhere, on a scale never before seen in recorded history. Valiant efforts by the UC military slowed the onslaught, but the creatures proved unstoppable. Ultimately, the decision was made to destroy the Londinian spaceport, sealing off the city, the outbreak, and its citizenry from the galaxy at large. The tragedy of Londinian is mourned by the UC to this day.
Dad wanted me to apply for the administration track at school, but I'm going to be a xenobiologist. It's science division or nothing.
After the devastation wrought by the Colony War, the UC and the Freestar Collective came together to ratify a treaty that became known as the Armistice. Both sides agreed to a vast reduction in standing forces, and that xeno-weapons and mech warfare would be outlawed. All related research was sealed away, accessible only in cases of dire emergency. But the Collective had another demand, that the active commanders of the UC military stand trial for their actions. The United Colonies, in the interest of peace and galactic security, agreed. In 2311, 3 United Colonies senior officers were found guilty. Commander Henry Durant, General Indira Rastogi, and Fleet Admiral Francois Sanon, known better as Ve Victus. All were sentenced to death for their actions, bringing the colony war to a close and returning peace to the galaxy at long last.
I was a strong supporter of the Armistice. All of the terrible weapons that both sides used against one another. It had to end.
It was into this new world that the Vanguard was born. An official branch of the UC Navy, the Vanguard is the United Colonies Volunteer Fleet, serving a myriad of security, logistical, and reconnaissance roles. And after a sufficient length of service, UC citizenship is guaranteed to every Vanguard member. Open to all captains, regardless of origin, the Vanguard is leading the charge to protect and support the citizens of the United Colonies, wherever in the galaxy they may be. No one is born a United Colony citizen. Only through service to the UC can one hope to earn one's citizenship. But the UC prides itself on taking care of its people. Cost of living controls means citizens pay less than their foreign counterparts for needs big and small. All citizens are issued a grant upon joining to get themselves on their feet. And only UC citizens have the opportunity to purchase property, getting the chance to live in one of the most beautiful cities in the settled systems. By joining the Vanguard today, you too can begin earning your place here, in the heart of galactic civilization, as a citizen of the United Colonies.